were to have to do any of the federal time under the First Steps Act that was passed by former President Donald Trump, federal inmates now are doing approximately 60% of the time that they are sentenced. And so at 60% of 40 years, that's 24 years. That's almost, it's a little bit more than what he has remaining on the state court financial sentence. So that's where we are. And will he appeal? I mean, I'll talk to him about that later today, but he's ready to move on, and we're ready to move on, frankly.
The latest in the saga. Breaking news now. Disgraced South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh has just been sentenced to 40 years in prison on federal financial crime charges. NewsNation's Brian Enton has been following this case, as we all have since the very beginning, the convoluted web of crimes that he is tied up in. How does this impact his ongoing court cases and appeals, Brian?
Yeah, it's a good question, because you kind of have to look at the big picture of this entire thing. And you heard his attorney, Jim Griffin, talking about it. They're appealing his murder conviction, Marni. So what his defense attorneys are hoping, and it's a big if and it's a big hope, but if they can get him another trial on the murder charges, which is possible, and then get him acquitted, which is a long shot. But if that happens, then what would happen is he would then go now to federal prison. Because you see, he just got the 40-year sentence on the federal crimes. Federal prison is a heck of a lot nicer than state prison in South Carolina. So that's a win right there for Murdaugh. Secondly, you just heard Jim Griffin say there's all these new programs when it comes to serving federal time. He could only serve 20 years of the 40-year sentence. People going to prison on financial crimes sometimes get out earlier on house arrest when it comes to serving federal time. So the big plan here for them is if they can get him a new trial on the murder charges, get him off, which again, it's a big if, but if they do, then he heads to federal prison and might actually get out someday.
Also hearing from prosecutors that he may have failed a polygraph test recently that would have been part of his appeal or a plea deal. Anything more you're hearing on that?
Yeah, well, listen, the plea deal, Marni, what we thought he was going to get today was 17 and a half to 22 years. The judge went much, much higher than that, 40 years. The polygraph may have something to do with that, because part of the deal with the state was you'll get this plea deal if you agree to a polygraph and you tell us the truth and you tell us if there was anyone else involved in these awful financial crimes where you stole from all of these innocent people. And what we're hearing is that he failed the polygraph. So he may not have been telling the truth when they were asking him whether anyone else involved. Maybe that's the reason it went from 17 and a half to 22 years all the way up now to this sentence of 40 years.
Yeah, just another case where the judge is throwing the book at him. The money and the restitution, I mean, we're into the millions of dollars, and the question being, where did the money go, and does he have it to pay back? What are his attorneys saying about that, Brian?
Well, they're saying he's come clean with telling them where all the money is, that he's told them everyone who is involved. Part of this 40-year sentence is he also has to pay $9 million in restitution. Where that money is going to come from, I mean, they sold Moselle. There's a couple of other things to sell. I'm not sure there's $9 million there, but you think of these victims. The judge says he sentenced him to 40 years. This is what the judge said a little while ago, because Murdaugh stole from the most needy, vulnerable people. And let me remind you, Marni, who some of these victims are. Children whose parents died in car crashes, a state trooper injured on the job, a man who became a quadriplegic after an accident. These are people who went to Alex Murdaugh and his law firm for help because they were in awful accidents and they had to sue. And then Murdaugh stole their money. So it really is reprehensible what he did. And the judge seems to have agreed with that now with this 40-year sentence.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.